check. Hey, it looks like it's stimulus check week for the country. We're going to show you how to spend it wisely by getting our Venmo accounts. And guess what? It's time change for everybody except people who live in Arizona, which happens to be all four of us. We also wish that we were surgeons, but we're not. We do, however, have an exclusive video of a surgeon during a surgery while he's on Zoom. We're going to talk about it all on the Morning Laugh.
Welcome to Thursday morning once again, everybody, and I'm going to bring everybody in right now. Here is Brian, Josh, and Chris. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Great. Hey, everybody. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
That intro this morning, Chris, was awesome.
Well, thanks. It was
both of them.
Brian lied to me. I said, "Hey, when it says 0, that means I can go." And Brian said, "Yeah, it said 0." I went. I wasn't live.
I don't know. The three of you remaining, me included. Did I not say the red light?
I did. Yeah. I heard that.
Mm-hmm. I heard 0.
Oh well. Chris,
man.
bygones. We're through it. We're good.
Okay. Yeah.
It was
we're better.
Probably one of the best intros I've ever seen on this show.
Mm-hmm. It's in the top 10 by far.
For sure. I'm sure, especially everyone who's just joining us, that yes, the time change that Chris teased in the front, if you missed that, we're all a little loopy because we didn't have to change our clocks. So you know how that works.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so, we're on Pacific time now, huh?
No, we're on Mountain Standard as always. The Pacific Coast has moved to Pacific Daylight or Mountain Standard.
Yeah, it's the one time of the year where California thinks that we actually conform to them. Boom, roasted.
Whoa.
Sorry, Josh.
Well,
so for some reason we're still doing most of the country is still doing daylight savings. I think Indianapolis does not the whole state, just part of the state.
Yeah, there's one county, I think, or something.
Yeah. So I don't. Regardless,
it's us in Hawaii.
I don't want to get controversial and debate the validity of daylight savings, but people think it was farmers that created that. I don't know where that rumor started, but it is not true. It was the power company that created it.
Really?
Farmers hate it.
Yeah, if you look in the Farmer's Almanac, there's always an editorial about how much they hate daylight savings time. Also,
not many people read the editorial section of the Farmer's Almanac.
Oh,
Brian,
guys, you gotta get on this. That's where all the news is. Not to mention the Farmer's Almanac. Not only does it predict the weather, it'll tell you other things, like pandemic. This was predicted a couple years ago in the Farmer's Almanac.
Man, I'm a little bit behind on my Farmer's Almanac. I have the last one I got was 1942, I think. So.
Oh, that's when Nostradamus was still writing them. Yeah.
I had a Farmer's Almanac. I remember this was 94. It said that I was going to forget a jacket in the movie theater, and they were right.
Wow.
I don't know how they know this stuff. Anyway.
Well, the daylight savings time this still baffles me, but anyway, it's just to update everybody because they're curious. It is beautiful weather here in Arizona. We were out last night outside, and I was like, man, this is beautiful. We should stay out all night. So
did you? Yep. Is that the big?
What a great story.
I'm just revealing because people have given us grief for bragging about our cold or complaining about our cold weather when it's only 60 degrees.
Oh, okay. I see.
So now I'm bragging about our great weather when it's 70 degrees.
I'll piggyback on Mike's there and say that I went over to my mother-in-law's last night and we had corned beef and cabbage, and that's a lot of cabbage. So thank goodness on the drive home we were able to open the windows and have a really really good family time, you know.
Actually, yesterday we went out to do some stuff, and Leslie, she said, "What's the temperature?" I said, "It's going to be about 75." She goes, "Oh, I'll bring a jacket."
Yep.
It's funny here. In the summer, my wife Jenny always brings a jacket everywhere, a light sweater, because the restaurants and the stores are so cold.
Yeah.
You crank up that AC all summer long.
Restaurants. My wife during the summer always grabs a bunch of napkins when we're at the movie theater and then puts them out on her legs. Like every time.
What is she, a homeless guy? What is
She becomes a homeless woman.
My wife, she grabs the newspaper, she crinkles it up, and she puts it in her clothes to keep like an insulation layer. Anyway,
she got a little cigar box.
Does she sleep on a bench?
She does. Sometimes she brings her own, whatever she's got. Milk carton, milk crate, you know.
Anyway,
I gave her a couple $.
This is my wife, homeless Steve.
So actually,
we teased at the beginning, but here's one of our trending topics is the stimulus checks, how to spend it. And can somebody post our Venmo account so people can donate to us? How are you guys going to spend your checks if you get one?
I actually haven't gotten mine yet, so I don't know.
No, you don't know how you're going to spend it until you get it?
Yeah. Actually, I do know how I'm going to spend it, but I don't want to tell everybody because, you know.
Is it for the final surgery?
Yeah. Actually, that's one of the things I'm trying to save up for liposuction because I want people to think that I can afford surgery. It's
it's a status thing. Look at me. I can afford surgery.
It's a big status thing. I'm actually what I don't know. What would you do with a stimulus check, Mike?
What is it, 1,600 or something?
1,400.
Oh, well, I couldn't do much with that. I thought it was 1,600. Then I had a list of stuff. I'd buy K-cups. I don't know. 1,400 would probably get absorbed into my just general fund at my home, and I never really noticed it.
Yeah, we decided in our house was we said that we're going to take about $400 each, and that's going to be fun money, and then the rest of it will go towards responsible things.
Brian,
did you say $40 each for fun money?
Yeah,
40.
Yeah, $40. How much?
What's fun about $40? What are you gonna do with $40? You're gonna buy. What would I do? I would buy a box of pizza for myself. I'd run away from my family. That's $40 worth. Yeah, because I get a bus ticket to run away.
I like how Chris is berating Judge. What's fun about $40?
I know. I'm just saying, if we're gonna use the word fun,
$40 isn't fun. $50.
Yeah, Josh, you and I wouldn't be a good couple. I'll tell you that right now. I'd say $40.
I need a lot more than that.
I know. Fun money, at least 100.
That's fun.
At least.
Where's the fun start? $47.85.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You can't even get anything for $40, but $47.85 though. That'll get you. You can go to Skateland. You can go skating.
Skateland, here we come. I'm going there. I'm getting a shirt. I'm getting a large drink this time. And then coming home with a smile on my face.
I'm going to ask that guy for 2 sprays of Lysol in my skates.
For real, for $40.
And
no,
for
good.
you, sir,
good.
Here you go.
I don't know.
So, Chris,
what are you going to do with yours, Chris?
Well, June's correct. I'm going to buy 1,400 K-cups. And I'm going to put them in a box somewhere. And I'm going to sell them for $1 each and make, $1,400 back. So I'll make no profit. It'll be worth the hustle.
It's not about the profit. It's a
That's
stimulus.
Right. It's not about the profit.
The stimulant. I want to get a stimulant with my stimulus.
It is a stimulus, though. When I saw it in my account, I went, "Ooh, see that? That was a stimulus that I had in my And I thought, oh, now I can pay some more bills."
So I'm curious that it's called stimulus, not relief. So it's not so that you can afford things. It's to inject more money into the economy to bolster the economy. That's what stimulus means.
Yeah.
But a relief fund would be, everybody's financially hurting, so here's some money to help you all out.
The difference is that one, now they want with the relief, like you say, Mike, stay home, do the responsible thing, and buy products online and have them delivered to your home. Where stimulus means go out and spend the money, but make sure you wear a mask or don't wear a mask while you're doing it.
Well,
Very
and it's
confusing
also
times.
so stimulus is actually Latin for $40 fun money.
Mhm.
So that's it's the Latin part, but
Yeah, Espiritu Sante Stimulus Provido.
well, I
What's
want to
Latin
go back
for-
to the cake.
What's Latin for? What's fun about $40?
You know, back in my day, Chris, $40 got you a lot. Okay, that was.
All right, I'm sorry.
Listen, you
Wait,
can,
Josh,
buy
what was your day? What year was your day?
2017.
Yeah.
Okay. 4 years ago.
Now, it's funny you say that, Josh, because I remember when I was in high school and my first job I had, I would every paycheck I would take out $40, and that would get me through the entire next week. Like I had plenty of cash for $40.
Well,
Again, this is back when movies were like I don't know, $3.75 for one person.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That
was the 40s.
What was your first job? What was everyone's first job? I'll tell you mine. I was my very first real job. I had two. Well, my first real job, I sold hot dogs outside of a Circuit City, and I got paid $5 an hour and all the hot dogs I could eat.
My first job existed before Circuit City existed. My first job was to come up with clever names for electronic stores. Circuit City, for example. No, my first job was I worked as a landscaper. I worked helping a guy do landscaping. That was my first job.
Wait, how old were you guys?
I'm guessing I was 14, 15.
I was 14. Before that, this is what what I'd do is when I was like 9 or 10, I would go to don't do this if you're a child and watching this. I would go to construction sites and I would ask if I could clean up for money. And then sometimes if I was lucky, they would let me do that. And then they would take me to another construction site and let me clean up there.
So
That
you went
sounds safe.
You went with grown men to a construction site?
Strangers, men I've never met before, just hop in their truck, go to construction sites.
I just remembered my very first job. It was still in the landscaping industry, but I raked leaves at a KOA campsite. That was my first job.
Wow.
So this is interesting. My first job, obviously, my father was a farmer, so I had to do that. I don't consider that my first job. I just consider that, hey, get out of bed. You're working today versus a real job. Then I worked at a bowling alley, but here's the thing, man. March 3rd, 1985, I got my first real job, like completely by myself at Miller's Outpost. That's right. I still have my badge. Howdy, I'm Brian, Miller's Outpost.
And you still know your coworkers from then, right, Brian?
I still know my coworkers, and then I still know my employee ID number. I'm gonna wear this now for the rest of the show.
What was it?
I'm gonna do.
It was 2. His employee ID number was 2.
Look at this. It's a pin. It's not like that fancy magnetic stuff.
Noah's Outpost doesn't still exist, does it?
It's kind of like that Anchor Blue place now. It's more of a West Coast thing.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Still remember the SKU for 9125, and then whatever your size pant was, like 36 or whatever. That's a SKU number. But enough about me. Keep going.
Enough about SKU numbers. I know that we're all very interested.
How old were you when you did that? You left you left the farm and you started working there.
I left the farm, went to the big city. 16 years old. I went to Valley West Mall, and I got a job at Miller's Outpost store number 79, and I was there for 3.5 years until I went to college.
Living the hustle and bustle.
Hustle and bustle.
Did you make it to manager level, Brian?
I did not, because I was high school into college, and then I graduated community college, and then I started my business, and then I was on my way.
You started your business
at 20.
Wow, that's cool. And then Mike, when did you start your business? 20?
No, I was in the military. When I got out of the military in 1991, I started a business called Northwest Computer Services.
Wow.
Yeah, Mike had to invent the computer first.
Yeah.
Well,
I had
that's
to invent
cool.
ones and zeros first, and then the computer.
Well, he had to name all of the electronic stores first and put computers in them.
Yeah.
Follow the timeline, Chris.
Yeah. What was your what did you do, Chris? You see,
My-
you seem like you would have been like a paper route kid, or you just show up to the neighbor's house with a broom and asking if you could, sweep their yard.
Yeah, I'm glad that you perceived that about me. Sadly, that's not true. My first job, I was 18. I don't remember doing anything before then to make money. I never cared about money. Like it's a new concept for me to care about money. So when I was 18, I worked at the movie theater, Regal Cinema. They loved me so much that in 2 months I got a raise, and I was a shift leader. And it was gunning for me, trying to throw me under the bus to me. You have my tag. It's like a cake, but this is my. See
Well,
me?
Well, yeah, I feel like someone is trying to sabotage Chris's time there. So they're like, probably Regal Theaters was like, "What's he talking about?" And then they came in.
Don't give out our secrets.
Yeah.
Am I back in?
you
well-
are kind of.
You're shaky.
We're getting 1 frame per minute.
Ignore me. It's weird. It says low can.
Mike, fix him.
Yeah. Mike, you and computers.
I sent him a private message.
Oh man. I'm
My
excited.
favorite part. My favorite part of Chris's story is this: that when he got hired at Regal Theaters, I just picture this. They told him, "You're gonna have to tear the ticket in half," and then there was a montage of him doing push-ups and then chopping down trees, and then him like, "Not yet. You're the best around." Yeah. How would you like to be shift manager? Yeah.
What does shift manager do? They have other people tear their tickets for them.
That's when you know you've made it.
Yeah.
So
Well, wait.
I saw a story. I did not find a accompanying video for it, as Chris teased at the beginning, but I did find a story where a surgeon. So remember we did the cat thing a few weeks ago about the guy that joined the courtroom Zoom call, and he was a cat.
I just want to let you know that I'm not a cat.
If you don't know what we're talking about, go back and look. But there was a cat, but the cat was all about continuing on. Well, there was another instance similar to this where the guy joined in, but he had a surgeon filter on. No, he's actually a surgeon, and he was in surgery when he joined the Zoom call for his court case. Your bloody right hand. Yeah, it's
he can either be a surgeon or a British person.
Raise your bloody right hand.
Did you guys see this story or see the video?
I did
I
not.
did. I saw there was a video. I think maybe it got taken down, but it was just a clip of the judge scolding the doctor. Like, no, I don't think that this is good for the patient, and I'm sure all sorts of HIPAA violations that were happening.
HIPAA alone.
Yeah.
But the surgeon, he said later on that the surgery just took a lot longer than it was supposed to, and that in his defense, he had another surgeon in the room with him who was there to take over for when he had his. I think it was a traffic ticket. I think that's
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a traffic ticket that
This is a scam. This is him going, obviously, Your Honor, you can see I'm a very busy man.
Wow, just
That's
for a
why I
traffic
was
ticket,
cheating.
and he was risking a HIPAA, by the way, guys, means the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. So I just throwing that out there because I'm smart and I just looked it up. But I always thought it was the Health Information Privacy Act. But anyway, HIPAA.
LOL. That
I
means
always thought
laughing out loud.
I always thought it was the hungry HIPAA.
the HIPAA just means health privacy.
Gotcha.
But so yeah, I can't imagine how the surgeon thought that was a good idea. Or a bus driver, or what else? What is it? What's an occupation you couldn't do while you're zooming into court?
That you couldn't.
I mean, I would have guessed surgery, but I would have been wrong.
Yeah.
We'd like to bring up Officer Jenkins, who's currently comes to us via his chest camera. Your Honor, I'm currently pulled over someone for speeding. License registration. Please, I'm sorry. What was the question? Yes, I do swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, ma'am. Please, no, I'm not. And then it's just a whole argument.
Yeah. I like the idea of a police officer on the side of the road raising his right hand and talking to himself. Your Honor, I just want to let you know. And they're like, "What are you doing?"
I'm actually on a court Zoom call right now.
Yeah. What do you think? Yeah. What is the worst job to try to zoom into a court hearing?
Or anything.
I mean, doctors working. Like
I'm thinking one of those guys that walk on the high rises, or welding or whatever.
People still do that.
I imagine they must still do that. Don't
They have to, I guess. Our buildings are so high here.
What about James Bond? Do you think James Bond would like be like sneaking into a Russian nuclear weapons?
It would be like that Geico commercial though, where the spy's mother calls him. Yeah, and he's still fighting. It would be much like that, I believe.
It would be.
Your father's fighting the squirrels again.
I like, Brian, that you're questioning. Do people still do that? Like, no, we don't make skyscrapers anymore.
No.
Or there's robots up there now doing it.
That's what rain is for.
Yep.
It's true though. You only see old timey pictures of that.
Yeah, of window cleaners and stuff.
Yeah,
that and Lucy episodes, right?
Yeah.
No, was it? Well, there's a guy recently. Was it Man on a Wire, or was that a Denzel movie? I can't remember. No. Anyway,
Man on Fire, Man on a Wire. It is two separate films. Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb, pun intended, and say that if you were on fire, that would be the worst time to zoom into a court hearing.
Yeah. I agree with you, unless they're trying to make a political statement.
I don't know if being on fire is actually an occupation, Josh. I think that was the question.
Stuntman. Haven't you ever been to Hollywood?
That would be the worst if you were in the middle of the scene filming in Hollywood and you're in a Zoom call for court. Like, that'd be distracting.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyways, so speaking of Hollywood, are you guys ready for? I'm so excited for the Zack Snyder Justice League cut. I'm just came out today. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I'm so excited about it.
Well, I was never excited about it only because I didn't like the original movie when it came out. I thought it was so lame, but I didn't realize the behind the scenes debacle that happened. I didn't realize that like Zack Snyder had to pull out halfway through because of things going on in his family. And so then Joss Whedon came in and changed everything. So I'm totally going to watch it because apparently they spent millions of dollars just to get it to this movie that came out, like millions to finish Zack Snyder's dream. So I'm totally up for it. I think it'll be good. I'm hoping.
I think this is just my personal opinion that nothing will save this franchise at all. I mean, even if it's not going to be. I mean, we all saw the original. I don't know how much. I slept through the first one. I tried watching it several times. I've never watched it in one continuous setting.
I don't want to be the idiot of the group here. And I know I enjoy all these superhero movies and all that. But just to explain to people who aren't familiar with this, so Justice League is the DC Comics version of the Avengers. or Avengers is the Marvel Comics edition or version of Justice League or whatever.
You don't know,
and there was-
it's got Superman. It's got Batman. It's got
So if you're ever wondering why Iron Man and Superman aren't in the same movies, it's because they're two separate companies and worlds or whatever. So anyway, so Justice League was the DC comic thing, and they made it and released it. And I thought it was good, but apparently there's a editor's cut of before it got changed or something.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah,
Apparently,
apparently
Mike does not go to the conferences or the subscribe to the newsletter, and so there is Mike, you might be a little surprised at what's
I
coming.
watched WandaVision, I'll have you know.
Josh, did you like the first one?
I did. I enjoyed the first one. I definitely thought that there were some places they could improve it. And so now this one is supposed to be the much darker version, and the idea of like a really dark.
Yeah.
And by darker, you mean Superman has on a black outfit.
You get it.
DC, the DC side of all these things, they're always way darker, right? It's always much more heady, like demons in your background kind of dark storylines.
Yeah, they try to stick to that original superhero type shtick of being like, it's like a very like the world is stupid.
Well, 2 weeks ago,
Or from
I was sick, and I started watching the cartoons, like the newer DC cartoon movies. They're all rated R. I had no idea, and they're like all like,
Wow.
I don't know, they're cussing and stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't expect it.
The Cat in the Hat is rated R2, so I don't know if that means
Is it?
anything.
Yeah, Robin now goes holy, and then whatever it just goes.
Norm said they didn't spend millions. They used Zack Snyder's stimmy check, $1,400, and then he said actually they spent $1,360. Zach kept $40 for the fun money. So,
You got to keep 40, guys. You got
You
it.
gotta keep 40. You gotta keep 40 in.
yeah, you got it.
So I have some interesting news for you guys. I got a call yesterday from my son who lives in North Carolina, and he called to inform me that the FBI just left his home. They arrived unannounced, and 2 FBI agents came in to tell him that they believe that he may have been involved with the DC riots a couple months ago, to which he said, nope. And the evidence they had was that there's a picture, and he showed me the picture. It's a very grainy picture of a man with large sunglasses and dark hair. It could have been anybody in the world. Apparently, these FBI agents agreed that, yeah, this is kind of silly, but somebody had identified it as maybe looking like him. So he had to prove that he wasn't in DC that day.
In other news, Mike called the FBI on his own son this week.
Isn't that amazing? They just came in like that, and it's crazy.
Has anybody had the FBI at their door? This is probably a personal question, but
I have, but it was when I had kidnapped somebody. So
okay. I know of a pastor that had the FBI at their door, and it was because somebody in the town, who didn't like them, had heard them say something on social media, purposely took it out of context, called the FBI. The FBI came in, and the pastor was like, "Oh no, like I'm just a pastor. I don't know where any of this came from." And then they left. So, yeah.
Well,
I've had the sister of an FBI agent stay at our house.
Wow. That's close.
Does
That's
that count?
close. Good job. You did it.
She questioned me about a lot of things in my family, like, how are you doing?
it's those nosy FBI agents. How are you doing?
How's business been? Those kind of things.
Did you ask if she had a warrant before you answered the question?
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody
It was
just walked
really
in my
upsetting.
house.
It was really upsetting when she was interrogating your dog, and she's like, "Who's a good boy?"
Yeah.
And
To his credit, he was a rock.
Yeah.
Didn't answer a question. Although did shake your hand.
So is everything okay, Mike, or do we need to start?
No, everything's fine. They like I said, they agreed it was kind of silly, and he had proof through his bank statements and stuff that he'd been locally spending money. So I guess as far as we know, that's I think when they left, they said, well, they'd be in contact if they had any more questions, but it sounded like they were just having to go through the process of this. But in that case, I think they must have tens of thousands of people they've got to talk to if they're just basing it off. Oh, this guy looks like he should be, or somebody mentioned that he kind of looked like somebody in a video or something. I mean,
Yeah.
I got pulled over one time when I was it was in a rental car. I had left a comedy club and I didn't realize I didn't have the headlights on. My car has those auto headlights. They turn on at night automatically, like most cars do, I think now. And I don't think about that. So anyway, I drove off. The streets were well lit. I didn't have my headlights on, so I got pulled over. And the officer told me why. And I said, oh, I'm sorry. I turned on the headlights and it was no problem. But he ran my license and he came back and said, I need you to step out of the car. And I'm like, oh no, what's going on? And he asked if I had been in trouble with the law and all that. And I said, not really, although I'd gotten a few tickets. And apparently somebody with my same name had a warrant out for domestic abuse.
Oh, wow.
And I said, it's not me. And he said, well, let me go back and run it by your driver's license number. And I'm thinking, what did you use? My eye color? It was just some guy with the same name, and he was about to arrest me. I'm like, golly, you'd think there'd be a little more criteria for that.
Go ahead.
You guys? Oh, go ahead, Josh. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I have a similar. I actually was arrested one time.
Really?
Because I had a warrant out for my arrest for having heroin in New Orleans.
What?
Yeah, so someone had used my information and they gave it to the cops, and it took over a year to get it all fixed. But I spent a weekend in jail because they thought that I was a heroin dealer in New Orleans.
Wow. Did you have any shows that weekend?
No, this is before I was good at comedy.
So Josh, who books that jail?
Yeah, no, the sheriff's book it.
That's what made Josh get into comedy. He was like, I got to stay alive. Hey guys, well, what's up with peanut butter? Right?
Hey guys,
he just did like 2 straight hours.
We're about halfway through. You know what time that is?
Today's first trivia.
Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Yes.
Ready.
All right. So once again, I am going to send these guys through our private chat here. A question, if I can find it here, it's here somewhere. And they're going to answer that. And based on their answers, you guys, our viewing audience, that has dwindled slightly because of the time change and our lack of ability to inform everybody. Anyway, they're going to answer that question, and then you guys are going to guess what the question was based on their answers. Anyway, you guys have the question. I have sent it to you in the private chat. So go ahead and take your names off. Brian, can you do that? I'm not sure how to do that.
It's already been done.
Okay. Change your names to the answer. And we will play Jeopardy music. Do, 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 do. All right. Are you guys ready?
No.
No.
Okay. All right. They're still working on it. I guess I will talk about some more trending topics. There's something about Selena Gomez. I don't know who she is or why that's a topic. So I won't address it. All right. You guys look like you're ready now.
Okay.
All right.
All right, everybody ready?
Looks like it. All right. Let's see what the answers are, everybody. All right. So Josh says the Cookie Monster entered rehab. He apparently did not get the question.
I didn't get the question, so I don't see it.
Okay. Brian wrote Mexico, 3 boxes.
Oh, there it is. Now I
Chris
see it.
wrote Finland, 200,000 blue boxes.
Yeah.
Blue boxes. Oh, you even gave the color.
Yeah.
All right.
to
So
help
we'll
people
just
out.
let
By
that
the
sit
way,
here for a few
blue,
minutes.
blue boxes is the funnest thing to try to say. Blue
Blue
boxes.
boxes.
Blue boxes. Blue boxes.
Blue boxes.
What's in that cup anyway, Brian?
Blue boxes.
So once again, Josh, this will help you in no way guess what the question was, but Josh, the Cookie Monster entered rehab.
I want
Which is
to
actually a trending topic.
that I did not see the question, but I did correctly guess the color of the box.
Mexico, 3 boxes, and Finland, 200,000 blue boxes.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of Cookie Monster, I read that the original color of Oscar the Grouch was orange. Do you know that?
No.
Jim Henson changed the color right before the first episode of Sesame Street, but it was orange prior to that.
Yeah, Henson was like, "Oh, we have a lot of this extra green felt around here, guys. Maybe we should just do that." You know how he sounded like Kermit anyway? That's that impression right there. That wasn't Kermit the Frog. That was Jim Henson. Hey, you guys want to go eat somewhere after work? Yeah.
All right, guys. Here's the question. The question was, which country eats the most macaroni and cheese? And as a nation, how many blue boxes do they eat per week?
So for Brian,
No,
the
I read it wrong. I was doing per household.
No, I like this better.
It doesn't
the
matter.
entire nation eats 3 boxes, which is the biggest that any country eats as a nation. 3 a week.
It's
I read
amazing
it.
Kraft is still in business.
Well, yeah, but how big are those boxes? Like they could be.
Well, you have to also realize I didn't realize that Finland was taking so much more. That's why Mexico only had 3.
Finland's
You guys are
crazy
just
about it,
like,
right?
I will hand it to you, though, Chris. You did include the color of the box, even though it was in the question. 200,000 blue boxes. You think Finland eats 200,000 blue boxes, huh?
As a nation, sure.
Per week. All right.
Per week.
All right, Josh, we'll give you a chance to guess. What country do you think and how many?
I'm gonna say. I think it's gonna. Is it per? Are we going per capita or just total?
Total per. How many they eat and which country?
It's obviously going to be. I'm going to say United States of America, and I'm going to say that we eat 3 million boxes a week.
That's quite a few.
Yeah.
Well, there are 7 million boxes sold across the world per week.
Mm.
Of those, 1.7 million are bought by Canada.
Canada.
Canadians eat the most, and in Canada, it's referred to as Kraft dinner, but it's the same product.
That
Blows
makes
my mind. I would think Canada would. I would think mac and cheese would be so below Canada.
I know, right? You think of them a little too hotty toddy. And how do you say macaroni and cheese in French?
Le macaroni and
But-
cheese.
But how do you say it if your mouth's not full?
Oh. What's this macaroni and cheese a boot?
I also read that there's a new ad campaign to promote macaroni and cheese for breakfast.
What?
Yep.
For
In the
breakfast.
States or in Canada?
No, everywhere. I love the fact that they say now for breakfast. They haven't changed it. It's just it's now authorized to be used for breakfast.
That's a greedy company right there. They're like, listen, we're only selling millions of boxes a week. We need more millions. They're like, well, let's just tell people it's for breakfast. Oh, genius.
Hey,
It has
they're already boiling water for coffees and for teas. Hear me out. What about macaroni and cheese?
They're already using milk in the morning. Just have them pour 1/4 of a cup.
Yeah, so what you do is you boil the noodles, then you take that boiling water and you make your coffee with it.
That's funny.
Now you got noodle coffee water.
Good stuff, boys.
Well, so there you have it. That was reverse trivia, everybody.
That's great.
Wow,
Thank you.
that's a good one. That's good.
So let's move right along here to what you're watching. So what are you guys watching on? What's the coolest, newest, latest thing you're watching on on TV, movie, Netflix, whatever. What are you watching?
Well,
Brian, I wanna
I've
hear
been
what you're
watching this
watching.
hilarious comedy called it's Alan versus Pharaoh, and it's not funny at all.
It's a dry humor. It's a dry.
Yeah, you would expect more from Woody Allen, but it's terrible. It's terrible. 4 parts.
It's one
dark.
of Woody Allen's worst films.
Have you
I would
guys
say-
have you guys seen it too?
I've seen part of the first episode of it.
Here's the moral of the story. I
Yeah.
will tell you that people, I'm going to use that word loosely here, celebrities, especially New York intellectual celebrities, they think they can, you know, they can do whatever they want to the degree that they control they're so smart that they can say, I can have a relationship that doesn't involve this person or whatever. There was no, like, they weren't married and they weren't anything else. I'm getting into the woods and the weeds and everything else. All I'm saying is celebrities are weird. Stay away from
Yeah.
Well, you know what gets weirder about this, and so I hadn't really heard about it. I wasn't going to watch it, and it came up on my entertainment news feed, and then I found myself reading a lot. And so now, correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the articles I was reading, so the other argument is like, because obviously he came out in an argument about this documentary, and one of the things that they had said, his lawyer, everybody had said, is that Pharaoh, whatever. Basically is producing the documentary, and they have they have like 4 projects that they have to do with HBO. So they're behind it as well. So there's a little bit, supposedly, the argument is that there's bias because they're the ones making it. So it's an interesting argument. And so I haven't watched it. I know nothing about it. It's just unique.
As I watched the part I watched of it, I kind of kept in mind that, you know, this isn't the only input from Woody Allen is excerpts from his book. It wasn't like he was answering or responding to anything in there, and he probably didn't want to be involved in it. But so I kind of watched it with that in mindset of knowing, well, this is kind of a one-sided version of the whole thing. But yeah,
I've been watching like WandaVision, Mike.
I had watched WandaVision. I've watched all that. It's pretty good. It's interesting. It's weird.
No, really? Because I thought it was Wanda versus Vision.
if you watch
different,
if you watch that and you don't know the Marvel stuff very well, and I didn't, it starts out just like, oh, this is a cool throwback to old sitcoms, and then it evolves into a modern day superhero, you know, super movie TV show.
when Mike talks like that, like, I thought it was just a retro thing about shows. It makes me think about the grandfather that sits at home and has the Western Channel, and then Back to the Future 3 is played only Back to the Future 3. He's like, oh, I watched a weird Western yesterday.
That's exactly what it's like.
Started off in 1955. They went to the Old West, ended up in the 80s. I don't know. It's pretty good. I wouldn't recommend it. That's what it felt like.
I've been watching 2 shows. I just finished watching finally Mr. Mayor, which is really great. Ted Danson plays the mayor of LA post-pandemic, and it's pretty funny. It's really funny.
Wow.
Bobby Moynihan's in
Who
it.
told you to watch that, Mike? Who told you to watch that, Mike?
Brian Kohatsu. Yeah,
Right. Because my daughter told me to watch it.
I finished watching that, but now I'm watching Resident Alien. It is really good. It's funny. I recommend it.
Yeah.
You should watch that one. It's Alan Tudyk, I think is his name. And it's pretty good. It's this guy that it's an alien, lands on Earth to destroy it, but he loses parts of his ship because it got struck by lightning. So he's trying to find parts to his ship, but in the meantime, he has to meld into this town and hide the fact that he's an alien. And it's
he becomes a doctor. I know, because I watched the first episode, so he becomes a doctor.
Yeah, his
and then he has a Zoom hearing, and it's a weird.
Hey, can I play Mike James Devil's Advocate for a moment?
Yes.
So I'm surprised that Mike likes this show because, one, it's an alien who comes to this planet and his ship is destroyed by lightning. His ship has endured whatever flying through space and everything else known to whatever could be thrown at it, and yet lightning takes out the ship.
Yeah.
And then to make matters worse, Then to make matters worse, the alien only has $40 of fun money to spend on Earth. It's like, come on.
Brian's right though. Generally hate shows, or it really bothers me to have shows that are based on such a nonsensical premise. And
If
this one is.
If
but
I
it's
told
funny.
you I watched that show and I said, Mike, you should watch it, you would have watched it and went, lightning. And you would have called me back and said, I stopped watching it. I stopped watching it. It's not real, Brian.
No, because you made me watch Space Force, and I didn't like the premise and the whole thing behind that. But then I loved it. I watched the whole thing. It was great.
Well, after several phone calls of complaining and me saying,
Yeah,
stay with it, stay with it, stay
Yeah,
with it.
it's true.
I can't be your TV coach. Come on, you can do this, Mike.
Oh, my
Montage
gosh.
of Mike doing push-ups, eating
So
chips.
let me ask you guys this. Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day. Did you do anything extra St. Patrick's Day-y or extra green yesterday? Nobody? Brian had corned beef at his
Oh, that's right. I did something gold. I went to the gold field, ghost mining. Is it a ghost mining town? Is that what it's called? Ghost town mining?
Gold mining town. That's a ghost mining.
Hey, I think I got one. Ooh.
I will say
Panning for
something.
ghosts.
So the kids are on spring break this week. So we took them. We were like, let's go do something fun. So we took them out to the gold field here. It's here in Arizona, and I say that all of us enjoyed it immensely, and I think that says something about about
Gold.
that place. So about gold, we all know, like they had like a little shooting range, and then we went down into a mine, and then there's like a wacky, crazy shack that defied gravity, and I thought that was like really cool.
Huh.
I think it's interesting that spring break starts a few days before spring starts.
Mhm.
Like that's really leaping on, because doesn't spring start on March 20th? Anyway, so that's one. Two,
I don't know. Brian, what does your Farmer's Almanac say about that?
I Goldfield's a fun place to go. I've been. I assume it's in the same
with
place.
Mike.
It's down there, like in Quinn Creek, right?
Yeah, it's like just
bottom of the Superstitions.
Yeah.
Queen Creek, just as fun to say as Blue Boxes.
This is in. So yeah, I like that. That's a fun place to go, especially take visitors if they're coming to Arizona. It's a very Arizona-y place. Did you find out much? Have you found out much about the Superstition Mountains and all the folklore that goes along with that?
I know the folklore, and apparently, so there's the Lost Dutchman's mine. So there's a Dutchman who, on his deathbed, said that he found the gold mine of a lifetime, and he said it was up in the Superstition Mountains. But then I found out the another fact is that now the Superstition Mountains it's a protected wildlife sanctuary. So it is actually illegal to go searching for the Lost Dutchman's mine.
A lot of people have died searching for that, and there's little to zero evidence that there's any treasure up there other than this guy's, word that he buried something up there.
I just love it. It's the idea of an old man messing with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
There's a special door at Target.
There was a
candy room.
There was something on the History Channel about it, and like a reality show or something where they're following people up there to try to find the treasure.
I actually wrote a spec script about some college students that went in to try to find the Lost Dutchman's mine.
Did it include the man at the gas station? That one, go up in there, kids.
It starts page 1, man at gas station. There ain't no gold in there. There's a secret door at Target.
Ain't nobody ever come back from there.
It's played by Mike Myers too. Okay.
Well, I didn't do anything special for St. Patrick's Day, but I will say this: we're very Irish. My family's almost all Irish, and every St. Patrick's Day, the tradition is to have corned beef and cabbage, and I dislike corned beef greatly. Do you guys like corned beef?
Yeah. Love it.
Yeah,
Have you ever
why
had
not?
it as a Reuben
you
at
not?
least?
Most people love it. Brian? So your experience with corned beef was bad in the past. Did it change yesterday when you had it again?
Yeah. So for just a hint of history, my Japanese uncle, he made us corned beef and cabbage when I was probably 8 or 9 years old. Considered one of the worst meals I've ever had in my life, and the rest of my family will swear to this under surgery in a courtroom. And so, anyways, my wife's father my father-in-law is Irish, and so it was like, oh, they're gonna do corned beef and cabbage, and I was kicking and screaming all day yesterday. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law is a good cook. That's why I think it wasn't bad. But that's a lot of cabbage. It's a lot of cabbage.
Why do you
Yeah, I
guys
don't-
not like cabbage?
I
don't
love
like-
cabbage.
I don't like boiled cabbage.
Boiled.
Although unless it's pickled and then boiled in the form of sauerkraut. I love sauerkraut.
Unless you're Bugs Bunny sitting in a pot with cabbage and onions and stuff. That seems somewhat appetizing and wrong, but not boiled. But
Well,
again, we survived it. It was pretty good. So
I just never followed the trends. My family all loves corned beef because we're Irish. I don't like it. I lived in Seattle all growing up. Never learned to like coffee. So that's just me. Just a buck on the trend. All right.
Yeah.
So Chris, you've never had corned beef, or you have, and you liked it.
Oh,
You
I
like
love corned beef.
Yeah.
I
I don't know.
Yeah, I eat it a lot. I have corned beef with cabbage, with
Yeah. Well, like corned beef hash, for
yeah.
breakfast. Oh yeah, I'm all about that.
yeah,
Corned
Josh
beef.
gets it.
you can have it
Yeah.
for breakfast now.
Yeah,
It's like macaroni and cheese.
There's no boiled cabbage, or
Yeah.
it's corned beef, and then like with hash browns, and then it's all mixed up, and that's pretty good.
Hey, they're already boiling water for coffee.
Yeah, you might as well,
What if we threw in some cabbage?
let's get some cabbage noodle water for our coffee today. And
I'll tell you, if you're boiling water for coffee, you can make anything.
my
Sky's the
favorite
limit.
my favorite YouTube channel, and I think I urge everyone to go to this YouTube channel. His name, the channel's name is Feature Man, Tom Willett, and it is just an elderly man who eats weird things and talks about his life in Hollywood. And it is by far, I think it's the best thing. But that brings me up that he eats a lot of cabbage and he eats a lot of weird combinations of food.
Yeah.
Feature Man.
Yeah, Feature Man, and I believe it has my seal of approval and Leslie's. And sometimes we just sit there and watch him. And he taught us how to eat watermelon. He taught us
how to eat.
Feature Man. All right. We'll have to I'll have to check that out. I
I
never
will
did
say-
have the pink macaroni and cheese, by the way.
I couldn't find it. I went looking for it, but I couldn't find it.
I couldn't
That's
find
all
it. I saw it online, like that's a thing, but no store. I even asked at our local small store here, and they said they'd never heard of it or carried it. They don't know.
You know who bought it all was Finland. Those guys bought all of it.
Yeah. They eat a lot.
Finish.
Yeah.
Well, as
Oh,
we're-
by the way, I don't know. We missed it last week, but I want to say happy birthday to Chris's mom. I
Yeah.
believe it was the 12th was Chris's mom's birthday.
Yeah.
I thought I would mention it before he did. So happy
Well,
birthday.
I'm not a week behind. I'm not like, oh boy, I better wait till the morning show to wish my mom a happy birthday.
well, I don't know if you know this, but it's daylight savings time, so today's her birthday.
Oh boy.
That's
Yeah,
how it
happy
works,
birthday
right?
to my mom. She's 21 today, I believe.
Happy St. Patrick's Day to her too.
Yeah.
Well, as we're
Thanks.
starting to wind up for this morning, any promos for this coming week, guys?
I have a good one.
Yes.
This Sunday, I will be performing at the Dillon, which is a place in it's an apartment complex in Atlanta, Georgia. So if anybody wants to drive to Atlanta, I'll be there. That's it.
All right.
I will be at the Tempe Improv all weekend, starting tonight through Sunday.
Yeah.
I'll be working with Preacher Lawson, so that's going to be fun.
That's
It'll be a fun
perfect.
weekend. And then I have on April 2nd, I'll be in Dallas, Texas, doing a show at an American Legion. So I'll link that in the event in the Morning Laugh page.
Very nice.
right.
I will be training the new DJ at Stir Crazy Comedy Club this weekend, so I can start having my weekends back and start booking shows again.
Yeah.
Yay! Finally.
Are you guys getting back into booking?
Slowly, a lot of my gigs have started to come back that were canceled from last year. So
I've got a few coming. Let's see. Next weekend I'll be in Salt Lake, or in Provo,
Oh, cool.
Utah, and then let's see what's after that. I think in April I've got a few coming up. I'll be in Seattle for a little bit, also Cheyenne, Wyoming, and I've got another thing at the end of April, but I don't have the details on those yet.
Cool.
Look at us, guys. Look at us.
Coming back to life.
Getting back into it.
I'm proud of everyone except for Brian. He's not doing great, but everyone else, guys, you guys are just crushing it, and I'm
He's
proud.
the sheriff. Look at him.
He's the sheriff. He has to hold down the town. He has to make sure no one's doing things.
Well, you know,
Wearing his Noah's Outpost badge.
Well, also for everybody that watches our show, the four of us do comedy shows together quite a bit. So keep your eyes and ears open. Check out our websites. Check out our dates. I believe with everything opening back up, we have talked several times about doing a bit of a mini tour together. Yeah. So I hope I'm correct. Unless you guys, kind of booted me out and you're doing the tour without me. So I haven't gotten any dates yet.
Well, your camera was frozen earlier during that little period. We booted you out of the group.
A ton of activity.
Yeah,
that's it. He's out.
We only let people with good quality internet connections in our group.
You can always check out themorninglaugh.com for updated news and information on that kind of stuff. But Chris is right. We do perform together. In fact, if you need some entertainment for your event, we are available to come out and do that. Any one of us or all of us or whatever you'd like. Quite frankly, at this point, we would work for a box of macaroni and cheese.
Yeah,
regular,
but
color.
only the breakfast kind.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I'm talking early morning macaroni and cheese.
Just, black coffee and macaroni and cheese. That's what we want.
I've never had those together. It'd be so weird.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we might even do a Zoom show. That's how desperate we are at times.
Yeah. It'll look just like this, except we're different.
We'll all be cats. Have any of you guys ever put ketchup on your mac and cheese?
Ugh, what?
What kind of
It's a popular thing.
This is a completely new concept. Where? Belgium?
In Canada, obviously. That's where they always put. No, that's gross. Sorry, Mike. That's what have you ever put? I think the worst place I've done like ketchup on mashed potatoes, which
conceptually I get potato, French fry, mashed potato.
I tried it and it wasn't great, but
Nah, I can't believe we're ending the show on what do you put ketchup on?
I know, man. Ryan, I was gonna say you have something coming up. You're getting ready to record a sketch album.
I'm currently thank you, Josh. I'm currently recording my comedy sketch album, which I promised myself 7 years ago I was going to do, and through a series of accidents and stuff and things, I'm finally doing it. So I'm full on. All of you are part of this project in some degree, and things are going well. 2 sketches down, 2 completely edited that I'm not. 2 are obscure. Chris will not get one of them for sure.
It's about Hogan's Heroes. Don't worry.
No, it's a sketch called "What If Dennis Miller Were Your Father?" So for a limited audience, this thing, but it's gonna be good. So I'm excited. I'm excited every day I get to work on it, and I'm excited that I'm pulling it. I'm pulling in like everybody, like old friends of mine too, and old coworkers that I haven't seen in years. So we're all having a good time.
He's even asked me to be a part of it. That's how.
Yeah, that took a lot of it. It took a lot of soul searching, but I did it.
He asked me to be a part of it too. I'm the water guy. I just give him water bottles.
And by the way, I am running low.
Yes, sir.
Well, before we end, I want to say thank you to everybody who listened and for adjusted their time to us. Also, I want to leave with this image in everybody's mind.
Oh, gross.
As ketchup and macaroni and cheese. And I
I'd
think that's
I'd
it
rather
for
be
us,
stuck
guys.
in a room with Woody Allen than have to eat that. You know,
Allen versus Kraft. It's the next documentary.
but I love the pink macaroni and cheese. It's the best. You can only get it in Finland, which is where I'm going to have to move.
Also, we have one suggestion that we should all make a movie together.
yes.
And there's a second suggestion with it. We should be cats. I agree.
I think that the movie was made. It was called Cats.
Yes. But we could do our own cats.
Well, turn on your filters.
Memories. That's it.
Turn on your filters, boys. We're all going to be cats next week.
All right.
Well,
Hey,
thanks again for joining us, everybody. And just so you know, it's an hour later, so you're late for whatever you were going to do.
Yeah, you're late for work.
Adios. Thanks, guys.
All right. See you guys.